The Arabs did not build the country at all. They did nothing in common except Islam.
We're talking language.
Yeah, in fact, Algeria in particular is actually the government now is actually trying to implement English language from year one.
Okay.
We try to encourage it, not just English language, not just literacy, but maths and science and physics and biology. When I studied
delivered
English,
through English. Those lessons will be delivered in English.
Yeah, because in the past, when we got the independence from France, everything was in French. Everything was in French. Arabic was foreign language. Then my generation, we were bilingual, so I studied physics and science and biology and chemistry and maths in French, literature, history and philosophy in Arabic. English language was taught in secondary school. Now what they want, basically, I'm for it. We want to go back to being bilingual, but not French Arabic, but English Arabic, and which means that from year one, hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be English language, plus numeracy in English, physics in English, biology in English, chemistry in English. And
you'd rather speak English than French?
Well, I would say French. We preserve French. French is a beautiful language, but we give priority to English language. And even David Crystal spoke about it. He's a linguist, and Jeremy Harmer as well visited Algeria in Oran. But we want to. Most of Algerians are in favour of English language.
And is it just a case of moving with the times? Because French is no longer the lingua franca.
Exactly, it's not lingua franca.
French is no longer French. French is no longer French. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of French people, they study English now, more in France. And why do we have to stick to French in Algeria? I'm not saying kick out French from Algeria, no. It's part of the culture, but give priority to English language, all the subjects, science, medicine, everything.
What about rekindling the original language of Algeria, the Berber language?
The Berber language, I strongly believe, should be taught as the first language. And to be honest, my idea with Arabic should be only, Arabic is just, they should limit the hours of teaching Arabic. Arabic should be only devoted for the Quran only. So because Arabic is spoken, the standard Arabic is actually taught in Algeria and other countries, and Tamazight language is actually gradually taken over from Arabic. We want the Tamazight language to be spoken everywhere, a mandatory language, as a first language. The new generation in Morocco, in Algeria, in Tunisia, in even Mauritania and Libya should speak Tamazight. And a lot of people, there's the clash going on between the people they stick to Arabic and Islam, the other Algerians or the Moroccans and Tunisians want to be part of the Western society. I would like to say something important. Tamazight was the first language spoken in North Africa, then Latin. Latin was spoken. The king Massinissa, Massiva, Juba, Hannibal spoke Latin, Greek, and alongside the Tamazight. Arabic came afterwards. So the order should be Tamazight, Latin, now English. Now English is also derived from Latin a little bit, and Arabic. So it's very important. It's very important. English language to take part to be kind of first international language spoken in Algeria, first foreign language spoken in Algeria.
And that's because it's the most widely understood language.
Of course, yeah. And even historically, we had a great link. If you go back to 3,000 years ago, we had a good historical relationship between England and Algeria. In now, I think in 1982, recently, 1982, the Queen Elizabeth visited Algeria. The son of Margaret Thatcher was lost in the desert of Algeria, and the Algerian military rescued him. And also Mary Beard visited Algeria. We'd like her to visit again. Hugh Robert also used to go regularly to Algeria. John Sweeney, Robert Fisk, and Jeremy Kennan went to Algeria in 1967. He wrote an interesting book, Tuareg. And also Too Hard for God was Marsh, I can't remember the name, but it was a book about Christianity. There were two couple English from England, lived in Algeria for 37 years. During the French occupation, they were preaching Christianity in Kabylia. They spoke Kabylia as well. So we want to implement English language to be taught everywhere. A cultural exchange between England and Algeria.
Okay. My friend, do you want to have a chat?
He's Algerian.
You're Algerian, right?
Yes.
Well, how do you feel about the use of the English language in Algeria rather than the French language?
I think it's good.
Take the mic.
I think it's good because it's something different. Yeah, I think it's good because it's something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the use of the Amazigh language?
Yeah, I think that should be promoted highly.
Will it ever
Yeah.
come back to be the...
I hope so. Yeah, because me personally, I can't speak it because Arabic. Because I wish I did. Yeah, I wish I did. Yeah. Because Arabic, because we've been Arabized so much that we've forgotten our native language. We haven't forgotten it. We still speak it in Algerian Arabic, but very minimal, along with French, obviously as well. Yeah.
So, people complain about the French colonising South Africa.
Yeah.
Didn't the Arabs do the same?
They did, but the Arabs brought us good things, though, in my opinion. So they brought us the religion, and they brought partly, but majority people willingly accepted. Yeah. And
the language is that's the trouble with not with Islam, because we suppose actually, because we had Jewish religion, but nobody imposes the language of the Israeli, and we had Saint Augustine as well, the Christians. Nobody imposes to speak Latin, but Arabic, when Islam came to North Africa, and that's what the confusion is. They wanted the Tamazight people adopted Arabic, because when they pray in Arabic. They adopted Arabic, and even Algerian Arabic, it has nothing to do with the standard Arabic, and it's something it's totally different. Even the standard Arabic is different from Lebanese Arabic.
Can you understand a Lebanese person?
I understand Lebanese person because of the movie. Egyptian because Egypt was considered to be like the Hollywood of the Arab world because of art and music. But when I was young, when I was 9 years old in 1975, I couldn't understand a word of Egyptian. Because Egyptian Arabic is derived from Arabic, but mostly Coptic language. And even the Lebanese are Phoenicians as well. And even the Syrians. So the Arabs are a minority in Yemen.
This guy's a Syrian.
Are you Syrian?
He's partly Assyrian.
Assyrian. Would you maybe he wants to talk about Arabic. You'll ask you.
what do you want to ask me?
Yeah, what's your question about language?
Islam, are you a Muslim?
So I was not brought up Muslim, but my mum traditionally Muslim. I'm Iraqi. My mum's from Iraq. My dad's Swedish and Assyrian, so I'm mixed. But neither of my parents are religious. So
Assyrian is the culture in Iraq and Syria predating Islam, right? Just as the Amazigh predate the Muslims in North Africa. And there are other people that have adopted the Arabic language. Iraqi Arabic is probably different from the Arabic. And there will be remnants of this Assyrian language, but these people have been Arabized. Why not have multiple identities? Your identity will be multi-layered. I mean, there are Amazigh people who fly the flag and say, we are not...
It was banned actually from the Algerian government recently. You're not bound because they thought the Algerian army thinks that it would destabilize the country in the sense that stop it now until we get, we sort out all the mess in Algeria.
I think Colonel Gaddafi said that the Amazigh language was a poison from the colonial people.
No, rubbish. He was mad. He was mad. He was mad. He was mad. No way. Because you can't deny the culture. In order to have a real democracy, they should teach the right.
Hundreds of women.
He's protected by hundreds of women, actually. But he's mad, actually. You can't have democracy if you don't study the true history. Our history is prior to Islam.
Half French himself. I also heard rumours that he was half French, or he might have had an Italian father.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And we have a strong link with Europe. I mean, whether they like it, they don't like it. I mean, our history is in Rome, in Spain, in Portugal, and even what's the guy called Severus Septimus from Libya. He came to England 208, and we have a good historical relationship with Europe more than the Arab world. They call it Arab.
I realised that Al-Andalus, as in Spain, was the Vandals.
I believe, to be honest, I believe it's a failure of the Muslims. They should not invade a peaceful country. And the Muslims who came to Spain or from Amazigh people, they use Arabic. And even the Alhambra is not from Saudi Arabia. The architecture is from the experience of the Amazigh before Islam. And Mary Beard, when she went, I would like to say something to Mary Beard. Maybe next time she should talk about the Numidian people, what they did.
Which people?
Numidian, because she spoke about the Romans as they dominated North Africa, but in fact there were history before that. So if you look at history of North Africa, you find the building from the time of the Amazigh, then from the time of a little bit of Turkish, French, but there's a gap. The Arabs did not build the country at all. They did nothing in common except Islam. Look at the state of Saudi Arabia, the way they eat, the way they dress. We're really different.
What the Romans did for us, but not the Arabs.
Of course, yeah. The Romans have had a lot of impact in history with the Numidians more than the Arabs. The Arabs brought religion, Islam. And only a few people, a handful of Arabs, came from Yemen and Saudi Arabia. They went to Egypt. But the rest of them, they converted, the Amazigh converted, they spoke Arabic. And it's good actually to read in French, the big historian David Lugan. He's a French historian. And even Jeremy Canaan. Jeremy Canaan has got an interesting book. Jeremy Canaan liked him because he said something very important. He said Algeria, they failed because Algerianization and Arabization and Islamization killed the country. In a sense.
How long has Algeria been an entity?
Well, since 1962.
1962. A French colony.
It was a French colony.
Algeria, right?
It was not a French colony. It was part of France. Because France considered Algeria is département de la France.
Like the Falklands is part
of France. That's why the big literature, particularly in terms of language, actually, and even during the independence, there were Algerians in favor of France to remain. And then we get independence, and we are still Muslim, but European Muslim, a kind of French Muslims. But there are Algerians, they wanted a real independence in the country. But unfortunately, when they introduced Arabic, I'm not against Arabic as a language, it's a beautiful language. They introduced, I don't know how to explain. Since they introduced Arabic, they introduced extremism in a sense, but my ideas are quite extreme. A lot of Algerians will not agree with me, but I believe Arabic, not Arabic itself, the way because when you teach Arabic, you should teach literature, not religion. And the extremism started when people started talking in Arabic and understanding Arabic.
When I first met you, I kind of presumed you were a Berber separatist or Amazigh separatist. But you're not, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not to separate the country.
But you are proud of that element of your heritage?
Of course, definitely. I think the MAC mouvement is in French, a mouvement autodétermination de la Kabylie. So they want independence in Kabylia, and the person in charge is Farhat Mhanni. He's in France. I'm against them because basically they want their own independence, which is not really the time. I think what they need to do is to Tamazight language would be mandatory language from primary school, and the new generation should speak it. And let's say people should understand, particularly in Algeria, that they are not Arabs. They have nothing to the Arab world except religion. It's like Albanian and the Turks. We should be similar to them, actually. And we're close to Spain and Italy and Portugal. We trade with Portugal, Spain, Italy, England, France, and hopefully things will change really in the future. And the thing is, England will win because a lot of things come in. A lot of Algerians, the army, even the Islamists, they want to trade with England and America. And the language is the point to start with, because hopefully everything will be in English language, all the subjects.
Andy, thank you.
Thank you very much.